Do it like what? Just tweezing your brows. What are you talking about?
Addison Rae may be one of the most beloved social media influencers of her generation, but that doesn't mean that she's immune to controversy. In fact, the more content that she puts up online, the more she reveals about her true self. Even more, her loyal followers can't help but notice that Addison is not all sweet smiles and positivity. In fact, she has been criticized for several instances where she showed rudeness and disrespect. So stick around because today we're looking at some of Addison Rae's most disrespectful moments. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. First is the time that Addison and Jack Wright stole someone else's dance. Generally, TikTok is a tricky platform since most of its users post dance covers without ever crediting who invented the particular choreography in the first place. As a result, it gets difficult to even trace the original inventor of every dance craze that gets popular on the platform. But it's a different story when TikTokers actively claim to have invented something original when they haven't, and that's exactly what Hype House members Addison Rae and Jack Wright did. It's a collab dance video uploaded by Jack. The caption read, "Everyone go do this dance Addison Rae did." The pair bopped along to the tune of Walked In. Problem is, the choreography they did looked too familiar. Apparently, those same steps were actually first popularized by another TikTok content creator named Hunter Lasseter. When users pointed this out, the two immediately credited Lasseter for inspiring the choreography. But the damage has been done, and Lasseter has already been disrespected. In fact, the original inventor of the dance commented right under Wright's upload. He said, "They really trying to take my dance, LMAO." Next, the whole time Addison Rae and Bryce Hall lied about the real score of their relationship. Many of us who heard the news about Addison and Bryce breaking up were shocked. We were like, wait, didn't they say they were just friends? It turns out fans were right all along to assume that something romantic was up between these two, as evidenced by their on-camera sweetness and frequent collaborations. The pair made such a big deal out of claiming over and over again that they weren't dating and that they were just friends. Now, we know they were only teasing and lying through the teeth the whole time. If that's not considered disrespectful to the millions of fans who have stood by them through thick and thin, then I don't know what is. Recently, the two have been spotted being very close to each other weeks after their breakup. This has fueled rumors that Addison and Bryce could be back together, but Bryce and Addison have once again denied this, saying they just decided to remain friends after calling it quits. This time they can't blame their fans for doubting their words. Next, we have that time Addison Rae disrespected and humiliated her father on Twitter. Okay, this didn't just happen one time. Addison must think it's a cool and funny trend for millennials to expose their parents' silly mistakes on social media, but really it just comes off as condescending and rude. In one of her tweets, Addison made fun of her dad, who apparently said the family was getting Chipotle for lunch. In capital letters, the TikTok star wrote, "Why does he say every word wrong?" Just 2 tweets before this, Addison revealed that her father referred to a pomegranate as a Pomeranian. If I was Addison's father, I would be so embarrassed if the slip-ups I made when I'm comfortable at home with my family suddenly became public for everyone in the world on Twitter to see. Some might say it's just Addison's personality to make fun of other people in her life, especially her family. But if you see her tweets about her mother, you would know that this is not the case. Addison would always refer to her mom on Twitter as an angel and as the best woman in her life. So it's really just her father that she's fond of disrespecting online. Next is that time Addison Rae walked out on her mom in the kitchen. Although the influencer speaks so highly of her mother online, it seems their off-camera relationship is not that flawless. In fact, one of Addison Rae's most disrespectful moments was when she walked out on her mother when she was supposed to be helping her cook in the kitchen. During one of her Instagram lives, Addison could be seen chopping up something that looks like onions. Even her little brother was in the kitchen helping out, so it seems like things were pretty busy in the Easterling's kitchen that day. Now, instead of doing her best to speed up the cooking, Addison went on live and made such a big show out of crying because, she was cutting up onions. Her brother can be heard saying the onions weren't doing anything on his eyes, so that's a hint Addison may have been just exaggerating her crying for the clout. If that's the case, then she definitely disrespected her mom by prioritizing her views over the fact that her mother needed help in the kitchen. Now we have that time she disrespected Koreans, and all Asians, really. Guess the Age Challenge is a really fun game that YouTubers love to play. It's where they take a look at pictures of random people and try to guess how old they are. Nick Bean loves playing this game, and one time he had Addison and Bryce play it with him. It was all fun and games until the trio had a hard time guessing the age of one particular female. Nick explained why it was so hard to guess the age of this particular woman. He said she was either 13 or 35 and there's no in between, because that's just how Asians are. Addison suddenly gets this super confused look on her face, and then she starts questioning Bryce and Nick's methods for guessing the girl's age. Apparently she didn't want to assume the woman was Asian. That's good, right? At least she doesn't want to be presumptuous. But her exact words, "Guys, she could be Korean." Seriously, Addison, we all know you didn't finish college, but we're pretty sure they taught Asian history in high school, didn't they? If Addison does have any Asian fans, this is surely disrespectful to them. Speaking of disrespectful, the next time that Addison Rae disrespected James Charles on air is next. For the record, James Charles was popular way before Addison Rae even considered downloading TikTok on her phone. So she really should be more grateful that JC is taking the time out of his day to promote Addison Rae and the rest of the Hype House members. Instead, she thought it would be a wise idea to start correcting James Charles live barely 2 minutes into their collab video where James agreed to do her makeup for her. So while James was getting her set up, he mentioned that Addison is pretty new to YouTube and how she has only posted one makeup tutorial video so far. Without missing a beat, Addison corrected him and said, "No, actually, that was my second." I mean, is that really how you want to talk about someone who's actively making you famous? You could actually see that James was taken aback when she corrected him. Next is that time Addison Rae questioned James Charles' eyebrow grooming methods. Needless to say, there was more than one disrespectful moment in this entire collab video they did. One of them is Addison showing up with messy eyebrows. Luckily, James was super helpful and started plucking her eyebrows for her real quick, but Addison still can't get over her rudeness. Obviously, plucking eyebrows hurt. There's no harm expressing that pain, but again, her actual words were, "Stop, why are you doing it like that?" As if James was her personal stylist who isn't quite living up to her expectations. Again, if James is just trying to help her, it's a pretty disrespectful way of talking to him, don't you think? Now we have that time she wouldn't even let James Charles walk through the makeup process. If you watch the entirety of this video, you will realize something odd. Why was Addison Rae doing all the talking? I mean, sure, it was a makeup Q&A, so James was asking her a few questions here and there while her face was being done, but still the whole part of doing a makeup tutorial is you're supposed to walk the audience through the entire process of doing someone's face. We know James Charles wanted to do this, but he couldn't get the chance to do so. In fact, he could barely slip any words in because Addison Rae talked about herself in such excruciating detail, while James worked hard and fast on her look. Before she was even halfway done talking about herself, the look was almost done. Even James Charles had to apologize to his followers that he wasn't actually able to teach them how to pull off this look, but to be honest, it wasn't his fault at all. Next, we have the time she told everyone that she was so full she was surely going to throw up. Now, for everyone's information, this seemingly simple line is super disrespectful to people who can barely scrape through enough to afford 3 meals a day. Remember that scene in Hunger Games when Katniss realized that people in the Capitol made themselves puke just so they could go eat some more delicious food? It made her so sick, especially since she knew people in her district would kill for just one serving of the food they served up. The fact that Addison stuffed herself with a whole lot of junk food from McDonald's only to declare that she was probably going to throw it all up later is just a bit insensitive and obnoxious. Now we have that time Addison Rae rubbed it in James' face that he has a lot of haters. During the mukbang video that she and James Charles filmed, somebody asked the two of them if they ever looked their own names up online and on Twitter. It seemed like a very touchy subject for James, who has been the target of massive, vicious attacks from his haters. So he said he stopped looking up his name so much when he realized almost all of it was hate comments. Instead of expressing her sympathies and leaving it at that, Addison really had to point out that on the contrary, she loves checking what other people are saying about her since it's almost always positive. Way to rub it in. This next moment is a controversial video posted on the New York Jets TikTok account. Now, although some people think Addison is rude and disrespectful, she actually has also been the target of major disrespect from other social media users. Recall, for instance, the time a video of her twerking was edited to be used in a meme video posted by the New York Jets. Whoever made this video made it look like the footballs were shooting out of the young woman's behind. It was a little bit creepy and straight up disrespectful to someone who's trying to make a name for herself through dancing. Now, last but not least is all the times Addison Rae was body shamed for not having a model's petite physique. Addison has always been vocal about her body issues, so it's really unbelievable why some people would still leave comments on her social media accounts pointing out how much weight she's gained or how awkward certain pieces of clothing look on her. I mean, yes, Addison Rae does have her flaws, but at the end of the day, she's still just a regular girl who tries and works hard for everything she does. It begs the question, does she really deserve this level of disrespect? Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple.